Welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today, March 30th, 2025, we're breaking down EURUSD, looking at the news and the charts. We will be primarily focusing on EURUSD in UTC time zone. Recent headlines suggest ongoing uncertainty surrounding U.S. tariff policies, which continue to weigh on the U.S. dollar. The euro, meanwhile, is navigating concerns about the impact of these trade wars on EU inflation and growth, which are making the path forward for interest rates more complicated, according to the ECB. Let's see how these events correlate with our chart data. Looking at the one-day chart, we see a lot of volatility over the past few months. There were notable dips and peaks, and recently we're seeing some downward action, creating a potentially concerning trend. We need to look closer at some key levels. Zooming into the last few weeks of the one-day chart, it's easy to see that we're in a downtrend. It's going to be important to keep an eye on resistance if we try to push above, or support if we keep plummeting lower. On the upside, if prices move past around 1.0845, that could signal a move up towards 1.09, a psychological level, especially if tariff worries ease. However, if we break below 1.076, we could see it move lower toward 1.072, which is a key area of previous support. The dollar could fall further if the U.S. introduces more tariffs, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. Now let's switch to the one-hour chart to get a closer view of the recent price action. The one-hour chart shows us some consolidation after the more recent downwards trend. The price action has been choppy, with little sustained upward or downward momentum. We see it consistently trying to push above 1.08 without much success, indicating resistance. On the short term, we need to be especially wary of a support level around 1.076 if it gets broken. Looking at the 15-minute chart, we'll see even more granular details. Okay, switching to the 15-minute chart, we see an even tighter consolidation. The EURUSD seems to be struggling for direction, with the price fluctuating within a very narrow range. This could indicate indecision in the market, possibly influenced by the conflicting news headlines we discussed earlier. We see that the currency pair made a bullish retest on Friday, March 28th, but failed to break above, and operations remain sideways. What happens next depends on whether the dollar falls further, which can happen if tariff worries increase or the ECB's inflationary concerns intensify, potentially pushing EURUSD higher. Key price levels to watch out for breakouts or breakdowns are 1.08250, 1.076, and 1.072. These would be areas of interest for short-term trades. It looks more likely than not that we'll continue to see downward movement.